Alright guys, today we're going to be doing the carburetor on a Honda HRX 217 lawnmower. Looks like this. Here's the model plate and everything. Alright, any of the parts you'll need I'll put in the description below. There's some special acids I use, stuff like that. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and take the air filter cover off, air filter off. They got a nice new one in there. Alright, next thing we're going to do is these two 10 millimeters. It's 10 millimeter, 2 bolts. Assembly. It's got a hose on the back of it. Pop it right off. Carburetor. There's a gasket. This is the choke release and an isolator block all in one. That'll go there. Then the gasket. Then the carburetor. Then another gasket. And that's basically what's going on there. Just so you know. Alright, we're going to take this fuel line off. Let's turn the fuel off first. Take the fuel line off. We're going to give it a little twist first, just to make sure the line's broken free. Then we can grab it, twist it, wiggle it until it comes off. You can also get underneath it, give it a little pry like that, and then that's off. This is an S-turn, just comes right off, and then the spring is just hooked in it. Now we're going to go ahead and drain that out. Get all the gas that's in this gas tank out, drained, gas tank clean. Alright, so we're going to pull this bowl off, 10 millimeters. God, alright, when it's stiff like that, pause it. It's stiff like that, stick a screwdriver in there. It gives you a little bit of leverage. There we go. This is pretty clean. I'm going to pull the bowl off and then the float off. We're going to leave this gasket alone inside here. We don't want to mess with it. It's a fiber gasket, so it breaks very easily. So we're going to take a number 2 flathead screwdriver and grind the ends down so that it fits inside of here. And find that flathead slot. Oh look, that's loose. Usually it's very tight and you got to hold it firm and pop it, but this one's loose. I'm going to unscrew it. This is usually the issue, this jet right here. Sometimes it doesn't want to come out, but it will figure itself out soon. You can also pry in on the orifice tube up top here. Maybe get in there. Oh, but that's trying to fall out already anyways. Orifice tube wants out. Jet just does not want out. Just got to keep tapping it then. There, it's coming out. Let's see, here it is. There it is. Orifice tube, jet. Alright, so the jet, we're going to use acid. It's 14 karat gold testing solution. I've used all kinds of different stuff. This is only stuff that works. Some stuff is too strong and it'll melt the jet out and then you won't run. Some of it's too weak, won't do anything. Some of it eats the aluminum, like I've tried Muriatic and it ate the carburetor out, which is not very fun. We're just going to put a drop or two in the jet. Orifice tube, we're going to stand up. Drop or two inside the orifice tube. Get the simmering. You've got a hole right here and another one down in there. Those are idle circuits. We're going to put a few drops in each of those. You don't have to go crazy. It just a drop will do. Maybe 2 drops. And it'll bubble right out. Then we're going to rinse these off very slowly. If you don't have the acid, you can just use the carb or the brake cleaner. We're rinsing this slowly so we don't get acid in our face. Then we're going to use a hard. So we can make sure it sprays through. Sprays through. Through. Same with the jet. Oh, son of a gun. Recording. Same with the jet. We're gonna spray through. Make sure it's a nice even spray. This needs to be boiled one more time just to make sure. It's pretty clean. I don't see any of that brown mud coming out of it. Just want to make sure it's good and clean, because it runs lean. You got to take it all back apart again. Alright, I think we're good with that. So now we're going to put the orifice tube back in, flat side up. And this has a flat side or a flat head side. Flat head side up, flat side down towards the orifice tube. Make sure you wipe off your screwdriver before you stick it in there, or you'll jam a bunch of dirt in there. And then we're just going to screw that down tight. Alright, that's all in. We're going to give everything a good rinse. Make sure that's clear. Make sure it's all rinsed out. Make sure it's all clear. Alright, we're going to rinse the needle valve and the float very well. Make sure there's no crusties or anything. A little staining is fine, but you want no crunchy anything on these. We're going to, this was really clean, so it didn't take much. I just had maybe a slight clog in the jet itself. Pop that on, so the float's still in, the needle valve's still in the float. And pop this on. This holds the float in place. There you go. It sits fairly level. It's good. It won't, nothing will get through here when this is like this. And then when you lift it, it allows stuff through. If anything leaks through when it's like this, and it's dirty, you got to clean it again. We're going to go ahead, rinse it one more time. Make sure there's no sand, no dirt in there. Same with the bowl. Make sure it's good and clean, no sand or dirt in there. And put the bowl back on. Same with the bowl bolt. There's a little cup right there. Make sure that that's clean. Sometimes you got to scrape it out with a screwdriver. Put it back in and tighten it back down 10 millimeter. Alright, so we're going to blow the tank out. I use air. It doesn't matter what you do. If you got to take the tank off and rinse it out with gas, whatever you got to do, just make sure there's nothing left in it. No water, no dirt, no nothing. We're going to hold them in place. turn. The spring hooked up. Boom, like that. This part is going to go in like this. And then before we bolt it down, get the fuel line back in place. Then we're going to get the bolts lined up like that. Get everything kind of started. And then we've got this hose in the back that connects to the air filter assembly. And just pushes right on just like that. I don't know if you can see it in there. And the torch on. There you go. So we'll just put that one on there. Now we're going to tighten everything down. Alright, air filter assembly, air filter in it, back into place. This one's missing a clip, but it's still holding pretty good. We're going to throw some gas in it. Gas cap on. Test it. Automatic choke. See what happens. Alright, we're going to take it outside and run it a little bit. So the little bit of smoke you saw, that's usually from it sitting on its side or something like that. It'll get a little smoke in the muffler. You do want to check the oil, make sure that you're not low or over full on oil. And he's way over full on oil, so there's the issue. We're going to drain some oil off. Recording? Alright, so this is way over full. It's up to here. It should only be to this line here. So closer to right there. When I screw it in, it'll be a little over full, but that's better than where it was. And then we're going to fire it up. Alright guys, that helped you out in any way, shape, or form. Give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Any of the parts you need will be in the description below. If you want to do any advertising through my channel, message me. I'll be more than happy to have you. Peace.